Yeah! You are watching the number one podcast in the whole wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juan.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leck.
And 15 minutes after the show was over, we have for you Monday Night Raw, and together we are
Road Rage.
Road Rage.
Look at how excited he is.
That's
He's
right.
excited to talk because we actually got a decent Monday Night Raw for once.
Exactly.
I should say for once, like since the empty arena thing started, this was a pretty decent show.
Yeah. And you know, like a lot of storylines building up. You will say that a lot of storylines building up. Some outcomes kind of like crappy. We will go over everything like we always say. But the main story is we've already predicted. See, so we did good. So Jean-Paul and myself, we can give a little bit of pat in the back because Seth Rollins is going to be the new number one contender and the first challenger for Drew McIntyre's championship. So thank you so very much, everybody, for watching, for always supporting the new, all the current, everybody that is being
the now, and forever.
And thank you. I want to shout out Alejandro Gutierrez. I want to shout out also Mary. I want to shout out a lot of people, Jonathan. I want to shout out Ruth, everybody that is like saying it's cool. We enjoy the content. And talking about content, don't forget we have two big videos, family. We have Ben Steele, an interview, Jean-Paul and myself. We talked to the Jurassic Juggernaut. Great guy, good interview. He tells us about all the good, the bad, and the ugly of professional wrestling. So thank you to him for giving us the interview. And don't forget to catch that up. And also, as like if you watch the WWE Network right now, you could see Ric Flair talking to Stone Cold Steve Austin in one more episode of the Broken Skull Sessions. And Jean-Paul and I have a video with all our reactions. What did we think of it? What are the new things that we learned from that interview? Like if like our take on Ric Flair has changed or not. So please check that out also. So Jean-Paul, let's talk about Monday Night Raw. And Drew McIntyre comes out. That's the beginning of the show. They did the same thing that like in typical WWE fashion. The first segment turns out to be the main event. So Drew comes out. And he's just talking about how, like, the support that he's been having. He's, like, actually talking to the camera. He's like, hey, thank you to every single one of you for the support. Thank you for watching the show because I can tell you the show was live this time. It was not tape. This is live, what we got this time. And he's talking about also, like, how he beat the Big Show. We get a recap from last week. But then Andrade, Cien Almas, and Selena Vega come out, and then she introduces them because, of course, Andrade is not able to introduce himself. I'm just going to throw it right there. So then Drew says that he knows who Andrade is and Vega and says, oh, yeah, well, you should know because last time when we fought at NXT TakeOver War Games, you were the NXT champion, and when it all was said and done, Andrade turned out to be the new champion, and on top of that, McIntyre was injured, and he had to miss 6 months of his career. So he said, you got a WrestleMania. Andrade missed WrestleMania and because of an injury, but Drew had to prove himself as a champion. So McIntyre said he gets it. And then they set up a match. They just said you want a champion versus champion match because Selena says that like Andrade is like the best champion in WWE. Do we agree with that? Absolutely not.
No.
So we get that set up for tonight. So what will your thoughts on that, John?
Yeah, like I mean, it's cool in the sense where it was like, okay, if you're giving Andrade and Drew McIntyre 20 minutes to wrestle in a legit match, then it's like they did in NXT, then it's like, okay, we're gonna get something good. But if you're gonna give us kind of what we got, where it's like you get the interference from Austin Theory, Angel Garza with only like 5 minutes left of the show, you kind of know it's not going to be that good. So. I mean, but at the time, I thought, hey, like I said, if they give it time, this will be legit. But in the end, it's not legit if you really look at it from the grand scheme of things. Because, like we said, how can Andrade say he's the best champ when he was suspended and hurt and suspended and all this other stuff? He like
got
barely
injured,
defended the belt.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, like really? Like, I mean, I understand, like you got to come out there, cut a promo, make yourself seem legit, but. Like, we don't forget what happened these last 2-3 months. Like, just because coronavirus is going on, we still remember what's going on in, pro wrestling. So it's like, dude, how can you say you're legit?
I love Almas, but you know what? I can be objective about this. Somebody needs to go. If they need me, I'll go and translate for him. He's like, good means no good in this situation. Like, you're not a good champion. Like, you got suspended, you got hurt. That means bad. It's a muy
Yeah,
malo Andrade. It doesn't matter how you make us think, how you're trying to make us believe that you're a good champion. Everybody wants actually for him to drop that belt to somebody else. So they ended up setting up Jean Paul. That was the man. That was the first segment of the show, and then we get like a whole recap of what we're about to see, and we get two matches. Actually, three matches for qualifying matches for Money in the Bank for the women. So we're gonna get first Asuka going against Ruby Riott. We're gonna get Sarah Logan going against Shayna Baszler, and we're gonna get also Nia Jax, her return, in action for the second week, of course, going against Kairi Sane. And to me, all the matchups, like, the only one that I was like, okay, that makes sense is like Sarah Logan and Shayna Baszler because we knew her was gonna advance. But the other two, I was like very hesitant about it. I did not like how they paired those things up. What
yeah.
would you
I
say?
mean, I didn't think that they were going to do all the qualifying matches in one night, but I mean, I guess there is a bunch of them to do, and they got to do some for the men, next week. But I would have rather seen like one for the men, one for the women. But when is Money in the Bank? Is that coming
May
up?
10th. May
Oh,
10th.
okay. So, I mean, they still have some time yet, so they could have easily spaced it out. I don't know why they're like having to get it all done out of the way, but at least we're having qualifying matches. But I agree with you. But when I saw the matchup of Kairi Sane, Nia Jax, what I text you, I was like, she's done. I'm like, what are you gonna do? Is Kairi Sane? Last time she was legit was NXT. What is she gonna make the babyface comeback and beat the giant monster Nia Jax? No, she's gonna get her ass kicked, get embarrassed, and done because they don't care about Kairi Sane. And like you said, the same thing was with Sarah Logan. Nobody thought she would win, and then her name was the one getting announced at
Yeah.
the end of the thing because he screwed up. So like, the whole qualifying matches was a screw up, and I'll save my opinion on the first match when we get into it.
And we're gonna get to it right
Right
this
now.
second. Like Vince Kennedy McMahon will say, like in this very ring, in this very moment, Asuka against Ruby Riott, Jean Paul. Why will you put them in a qualifying match when you can spread them out and make them competitors in the Money in the Bank
Yeah,
ladder?
I mean, we like Liv Morgan was all over social media tweeting how she wanted to be in this match. She wasn't even qualifying for it. If me, I would have had Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott in a match, and then you could have had Ruby Riott win, and then that could have still been also continuing the feud, a little bit. Because to me, that feud shouldn't be done. It was a decent feud because of their history, and then they came back and had like that match where Sarah Logan was the ref and it was done. But it's like Liv's not even here, so what was all that talk on social media? Like you said, you could have spaced these two competitors out because Ruby Riott and Asuka both needed to be in this match because they're both legit and they should both be featured in a big time match like this. Ruby Riott to me was the perfect person to win Money in the Bank. You could easily see her cashing in on like on a tired, exhausted Becky Lynch come down, Riot kick and done, new champ. To me, that would be legit because she's the kind of person that would be like, Edge when he came down and, all those guys where it's like the heel coming in, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, all those like, perfect heel cash ins. But, they gave Asuka the win. So,
Yeah, and see that's a great comparison. I really think that's how they should have done it. I think that there's one more pairing. I think they're gonna have one more match because it's supposed to be four from Raw, from SmackDown. So
oh, yeah,
so
yeah,
she
that's right.
might be
Yeah, it's
bad.
eight. Yeah, not
Here
six.
is
Yeah,
what it's gonna
okay.
be, and Liv Morgan against Natalia. That's what it's gonna be, and
Oh, yeah, I
Liv
could
Morgan
definitely,
go
yeah.
probably because they're gonna repeat the same match that they gave us at WrestleMania. So that's what they're gonna end up doing.
But then,
But like you
yeah,
said,
yeah, you're right. Yeah, I was for some reason I was thinking six, but if they do that and she gets in, won't that be more reason for Ruby Riott to also be in the
yeah,
match?
yeah. No, I'm saying
So
like
it's
what
like, yeah.
your
So
idea
I'm
is like,
like,
see,
WWE is like they're screwing it all up, dude.
out of the Riot Squad, Ruby Riott was the only one that could wrestle. She's good on the mic. She can hold good matches. She probably had like a great match. Remember with Ronda Rousey, she was one of the few that was able to have a legit match with Ronda Rousey. Every time that she went heel and had like a singles like really main event with like Charlotte like 2 years, 2 or 3 years ago in like Fastlane, she did well. So why wouldn't you push her? And now, ever since she came back, she that was her first match, I will say. this week.
Yeah.
And then nothing. So,
Yeah, it was decent, and it looked like she was gonna win, but then right at the end of it, she fell into the Oscar lock, and instantly,
but
and,
at
and
least
done.
like I will say, like at least they're doing like the one thing is that you can see which one of the Kabuki warriors they like. Asuka they
Oh
do, but
yeah,
like
oh yeah,
Kyrie
Kyrie
completely
Sane,
like
yeah,
afterthought, completely gone. So Jean Paul, Ruby Riott climbs to the up, and then Asuka hits a German suplex, and then the Shining Wizard. Jean Paul claims that Asuka's Shining Wizard is way better than Tegan Knox, and I agree with that because Asuka is all about intensity though. She's all about like hitting with power. I mean, Tegan hits it like great, but I think because of the both repair knees and everything, she has to be careful of how like the power that she uses like in
oh
that
yeah,
move. I will
definitely.
say that. So she goes down for a near fall, and then she comes back with a clothesline to the back of Asuka's head, and then stares up at the briefcase hanging above the ring. But then Riot climbs to the top of the middle rope and then attempts a senton, but Asuka catches her in the Asuka lock. Then Ruby rolls back to try and pin Asuka, but then she releases the lock, and then Asuka grabs Riot, but gets followed by an elbow, and then she hits like the flatliner. I like that move, but I was waiting for
Mhm.
the Riot kick. So Ruby transitions from a pin into a submission, but Asuka breaks free and applies, like Jean Paul said, crossface chicken wing or the Asuka lock, however you want to call it. And like Jean Paul said, not even like the whole apply, done.
Yep.
So we have the first competitor for the Money in the Bank ladder match. So that was a first time for Asuka. That's really good. She was actually dancing while Ruby Riott was like coming to the ring. So that was kind of funny. They let her talk in Japanese and everything. So that was kind of interesting. I will say that. And of course, Charlie Caruso is interviewing her, and of course, the words that she knows how to say. No one's ready for Asuka. Good
Hmm.
stuff. Hopefully they do something with Ruby because it's a shame that she came back and they're not really using her at the potential that she could be used.
Yeah, because I was just when I was watching this in my head, I was like the perfect, something you could do. Maybe get Liv Morgan some wins, and then eventually do like Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch in a match, and then if Ruby Riott was the Money in the Bank, she could cash in on that. When you'd have to really build Liv up because right now she's not that believable, but she's maybe about to win. Ruby comes in, cashes in, pins Liv or pins Becky and wins a championship, and then that can be their feud. Because if you really do put the story and the time and the effort, you can make any of these feuds legit. But they just don't care about the women's division. They're like, Asuka's good, she can go. Shayna Baszler, yeah, we're gonna let her win it this time. So it's like, why would Because I don't even think Shayna Baszler should be in this.
I actually I like that point, and I'm gonna say it very fast because see, like those things they used to do in the past. They will have somebody that was not really like a main event guy in like a pay per view like this, like the Money in the Bank with like the briefcases
Uh
on the
huh.
line. They will use, for example, in the Royal Rumble. Let's say I want to say what I think it's Royal Rumble '04, I believe. Yeah, they had a Brock Lesnar going against Hardcore Holly. You know
Yeah.
why? Because like,
Yeah.
see, we knew that he was not gonna win, but at least he gets a main event spot. And
Yeah.
then you're using Ruby Riott, like the other guys that we know were good. We made them win something else, and then you
Hmm.
set up the feud with the champion and everything. So that was actually in my head. I was like, they should like put Liv Morgan going against Becky, and then maybe Shayna wins it, or Ruby Riott, somebody else like that like has all the potential in the world. But you know WWE. So we get to
Exactly.
see a returning MVP. He's in an MVP lounge, and he's in the front of a monitor, and with a
But
little
this is MVP is legit. The only reason I give the wave to get out of here is because what didn't he announce that he was done? He had that retirement match against Rey Mysterio, and he's like, now I'm done.
He's never done.
And now
He's
he's
never done
like,
with it.
that's it.
He's
I
your
mean, he's
MVP.
legit, and everybody who meets him says he's so legit. He's always nice and willing to help people. But
Mentoring
I'm just
like
like,
new
yeah,
talent and
yeah.
everything. Yeah.
But I'm always it's just funny because I'm like, this guy said, "Oh, Mysterio, this is one of my dream matches, wrestling, whatever, done." And then he's like, "Yeah, just kidding."
Wait, see, he's getting the Ric Flair, the
Yeah.
Ric Flair syndrome. Like, oh, I needed the money, man. So they got to do that. So he announces 3 qualifying matches for next week, 4 on the men's side, and the matches are going to be Rey Mysterio going against Buddy Murphy. That's going to be a legit match.
Legit
Well,
match.
who's your call on that? I'm saying
Mm,
Murphy. I'm saying Murphy.
Murphy to me would be the right choice, but I feel like Rollins and his Monday night disciples are done. since Akam, I think it was, since he's done,
Yeah.
or Razor, whichever one is hurt again for the 1000th time. So I feel like they got rid of that group. So I feel like Buddy Murphy, if he doesn't win here, then I'm gonna already confirm it that Buddy Murphy is just like an Akira Tozawa again.
Yeah.
And now if Murphy beats Mysterio, then I'll be like, okay, they still care about Buddy Murphy and they're still gonna present him in a legit way. But if he loses here, then he's done. That's
Yeah,
how I see
absolutely. Yep. Second match, Aleister Black versus Austin Theory. This one's easy. This is Aleister Black.
Oh yeah.
Aleister Black all the way. Yeah, but
To me, like if you're gonna put the briefcase on a baby face for the men, Aleister Black. That is the one guy. I mean, but see, I don't think he needs it because he's so badass. He can just go up to anybody, challenge them. And if they don't believe him, all they have to do is hit him with a black mask and done. So he doesn't need it, but I think he could still benefit from it.
Yeah, and I see like I think he doesn't need it because he was way over, and like he can have his run without the briefcase. Now we go to the third one, and that one doesn't really make sense at all. Apollo Crews against MVP.
Well, to me, that's gotta. I mean, if MVP
Apollo's gonna win.
If MVP wins that one, then I'll be talking a little bit of shit on him. But that's going right to Apollo Crews. Like I told you last week, the legit match: Apollo Crews, Aleister Black. Apollo Crews is too good. He's too talented. I don't care if he's not going to give you that, the Rock or Stone Cold level promo. Nobody in WWE does, except John Cena. He's the only person who can cut a promo to that level nowadays because everybody else is too scripted and they're told what to do. But Apollo Crews is way too legit of a wrestler, a worker. There's no way that you can't let this guy shine. And in a Money in the Bank ladder match, he's going to do just that. So to me, he's the one who's got to win. And I mean, he would be an insane pick to win. But if he does, I hope he cashes in on Andrade. And I hope he wins because if he's not going to cash in on Drew and win, you know what I mean? Like, they're not. That's the thing. Because I'm thinking, is Aleister Black going to win and cash in on Drew? Are you going to do, like, face versus face? Like, cash in and, take it? Does that make him a heel then afterwards? So I'm trying to, like, that's how I always try to figure it out in my head who's kind of going to win. But, I mean, it should be a legit match. The Money in the Bank ladder match, not Apollo Crews versus MVP.
Oh yeah, at least Apollo is gonna win, so he's gonna get like something. They're trying to do something with him, and like you said, the guys had all the potential in the world. As an athlete, he's high class, high end athlete. Like his level of execution, arsenal, physique, all of that. Maybe work with him. There's actors, there's directors. Like work with him with his promo skills, make him come up with something catchy. That way he can get over with the crowd. But now, Jean Paul, we get to another guy that like has no charisma whatsoever. Suffer the same syndrome, the same disease as Apollo Crews, Oney Lorcan going against Aleister Black. Another legit match. Two guys that know how to take us through the story.
He's the unfinished creator wrestler in WWE 2K.
Yes.
He's like you started making him and then you like had to, leave somewhere, so you just quick saved it halfway through, and then when you got back you're like, good enough.
Yeah.
And we're playing.
Exactly.
The dude is like, he looks so generic. I mean, he's a hell of a wrestler.
He's absolutely awesome.
Hell of a wrestler. You're going straight off talent and work ethic, like working in the ring. He's up there as one of the top. Like, the dude is legit, and he's stiff. His hits are legit, but he's not Aleister Black.
No, and like you said, it's not Aleister Black. So pretty much, Aleister Black, of course, got the win. So we're going to go through the spots that we always do. So Lorcan gets to the ropes, and Lorcan hits a really stiff chop to the chest of Black, but then Black fires back with a flurry of strikes. Then he looks for the springboard moonsault again, but then this time Lorcan catches him with a clothesline. Then Black rolls up Lorcan for a 2 count. Then Oney lands like more like stiff chops. Like you can see, like Ric Flair kind of taught him how to do those chops because it was legit. Black gets mad, and then he gets like the leaping knee, and then he lifts him with his boot, and then Black mass. So 1, 2, 3. Of course, Aleister Black is like he's receiving a really big push. So Charlie Caruso says so. Oh no, it wasn't Charlie Caruso. It was Stacy Shriver. Or yeah, she's the one. And she goes, "Well, what's your game plan?" He goes, "Game plan? My game plan is to win." So okay, Aleister, we get it. All right, that's fine. So Jean Paul, very quick before we transition, what are your thoughts? There's a little bit of room. There's a little bit of, like you call it, WWE 2K21 might be canceled. Done. We reported this on
delete,
on
delete.
our social media outlets, so you guys can check that
What's
out.
the
Like
what's the point? Like half the community's already playing WWE 2K19,
19.
and I heard rumors that they're shutting down the servers for it in May. So I guess no more community creations, no more of that stuff. So if you're, for the people who still play, from now until May, use your 20 limit download per day and start downloading stuff. But 2K20 was a flop. That's why we don't play it. For all those who are curious that are like, why do you guys play 19? Because 20 sucks. What do you want us to do? Play a shitty game? No. So 19 is where it's at. They got to take a break. Don't do 21, especially if you're using the same assets from 20.
The
Completely
same, yeah.
scrap.
What is it
Yeah.
called? The same engine? I think that's
Yeah,
what it's
yeah,
called.
yeah. All that stuff. Just don't like graphics, whatever. Just get rid of all of it. Start fresh. Take over a whole year. Start now. And then just come back, with a brand new game and call it something legit. Can we go back to like the days of like a Raw versus SmackDown or like Shut Your Mouth or No Mercy? Instead of calling it WWE 2K 2021 or 2022, like can we make it sound cool and legit.
Call him the original rubric for all I care.
Well,
That's
I
fine.
mean,
We'll
that
give
would
the
be
rights.
legit.
We'll
Yeah,
give the rights
yeah.
for that.
Well,
To
yeah.
the original rubric 2K22. Yeah. But yeah, I don't. You're right. Like the game sucks. They need to just if they need a year off, that's fine. If we're fine playing 19, it's a good game. I'm happy with it. Unfortunately, we will not have new guys. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I'll
So
make
Jean
them.
Paul, yeah, Jean Paul makes him, and we have something in the works, I think, and we're not revealing because it's like a lot of people are just talking to us, a lot of heads. We had like something that I saw in our website. I don't know who put that, but anyway. So we get the man Becky Lynch is back. So she's kind of a promo. She's the first time back ever since WrestleMania. So she said it's only been a couple of weeks since last stood out in the ring in WrestleMania when she beat the human bone breaker Shayna Bazsler. So she had to let her clear up with some confusion. She said it will be a battle of heart versus skill, but it was really a battle of minds. A lot's been said about her lately that she's arrogant, but maybe she just wants people to think that. So why will she put herself in like defend? Why will she put herself in a defending condition like that? Because the only person that can destroy the queen, and I thought it was Charlotte.
Yeah,
The queen. I'm like, what is Charlotte?
but she's the Queen of Spades. I think they call her.
Yes,
So
yes. So I'm like, oh, but like she has to say Queen of Space, please,
yeah.
Becky. It's like the Queen. I'm like, okay, Charlotte,
Woo!
Queen of Space, yeah, is the Joker. So we go with like drink.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yep, and that's because the
Joaquin
Joker.
Phoenix, legit.
Yep, and then the Joker is in a threat. Is in a threat, and I'm like, he is. He won an Oscar. So Lynch says that whoever wins Money in the Bank at the briefcase, she will have a game plan, and she will shock the world once again. So that's what like she lives it
Now,
at.
yeah, this to me that this promo it was legit. It was for Becky Lynch. Like you and I have both been saying, go back a couple months before Elimination Chamber, like Becky Lynch showing up with like the bullshit, like pixelated square sunglasses, wearing the King's hat, all the outfits and acting cocky and annoying and all this stuff. We didn't like it. I feel like WWE was trying to do that to spice her up to get her, more over. They saw the negative backlash and now they fixed it. So I'm gonna give them a little clap and I'm gonna applaud
Kudos.
them on that because it's like, hey, you fixed it and you at least gave a storyline reason for it. Where Becky's like, that's not me. I'm not bullshit wearing the king's crown and this and that. I did it to get inside the head of Shayna Baszler and it worked. I'm still the champ, for over a year. So that's what I gotta give them the applause for that, for fixing the storyline and making it have, a reason. That
Yes,
makes sense.
yes, and that was good. Like I see when you see intensity in Becky is when I actually get behind her.
Yeah.
So this was good, and like she's like, okay, whoever comes a man in the bank, I'm ready. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the kind of champ that Becky needs to be. Like you said, no more goofy stuff, no more dumb stuff, no more like glasses, no more shades. That's Jean Paul. Don't be
Yeah.
imitating anybody here. So Charlie Caruso interviews Selena Vega and Andrade backstage. Vega says that like, because she says like, Andrade, how do you feel about the champion versus champion match? And he's like, well, who the hell write these questions for you? Because I know it's not you. And
And
she goes,
she's like, you can't be that dumb. And
yeah,
she's like, first of all, it's not Andrade, it's Andrade.
it's Andrade. That's how you say it, not Andrade. All right. So the ones that don't know how to say it. So she says that like Drew had a one great night, but it's only one great night. While Andrade's been defending this title, quotation mark, title month after month against the best that WWE has to offer. And then the last time, like they will call Drew, like the last time that Drew,
Yeah.
like was champion, Andrade beat him. So then Andrade said something if that was English, good for him. Like I need to go back to like school, I guess, because I did not understand a single thing. I love you, Andrade. You're a good, Latino brother. But man, learn the language, learn how to pronunciate the right way. All right. So backstage, Shayna Baszler is asked about the derogatory comments about Ronda Rousey that she said about the WWE fans. I'm not coming back because all of you are entitled, pieces of
And
crap.
okay, this is all I'm gonna say. As soon as I saw that, I was like, for anybody who thinks this is a shoot, I'm sorry, but like, come on, like you gotta know how wrestling works.
Thank you.
Like anybody who's like, Ronda is so disrespectful, all the opportunities that Triple H and Vince McMahon, and it's like people, come on, this is why like wrestling isn't considered legit anymore, because all you guys cry on social media and you look like idiots instead of being like, all right, Ronda, really? Like, okay, like, screw you or like whatever, you gotta fire back at her
We
trigger
don't
a
need
heel.
you anymore. We don't need
Yeah,
you anymore. You want to
yeah,
stay there with your
yeah,
husband? Where's the baby yet? You guys
yeah,
made the baby yet a whole year.
yeah,
What
yeah.
the hell are you guys doing?
Yeah, exactly. That's how you got to do it. And then when she comes back, because she's coming back and she's going to be a heel, she's probably going to like beat up Becky Lynch or beat up whoever wins Money in the Bank or something like that, because she's probably going to come back soon.
Yes.
And especially the fact that they mentioned it here, if it was Sarah Schreiber or whoever was talking to Shayna Baszler, the fact that they mentioned it here confirms it's a work. It
Yes.
confirms that she was said, hey, go. She was told, hey, go out, tweet this. It's legit. This is a storyline we got, planned. And she's like, oh, okay, legit. On Twitter and done.
Exactly. So like they're pretty much fooling everybody out and mission accomplished because they're doing that. And the best one that like for me that meme that like has Ronda Rousey saying, by the way, the Dudleys are not brothers or Undertaker
Yeah.
and Kane are not brothers. Best thing in the world.
Oh,
For
yeah.
Shayna Baszler
Did
goes
you see
against
the
Sarah
picture?
Logan.
Did you see the picture where she has like the Hulk Hogan wrestling buddy from the '80s and she's like punching it against the
Oh
wall?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's legit.
It's legit. Like I see, like she's good. Like I have all the respect. Like she did a really great year. She's gonna come back and be as strong as like ever. So
Oh
good for
yeah.
her.
Oh,
She
to
knows
me,
how to troll people.
yeah.
She knows how to troll.
To me she was super legit. Besides the fact that she had to wrestle Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss for half her run, and then she had that awful main event, which it should have just been Becky and
And
Ronda.
her.
But
Yeah, and should have
yeah,
been making her. But that we got what we got. So like Shayna Baszler going against Sarah Logan. Like the match went like really really fast
mm-hmm.
because there was at some point Baszler just
Oh,
fires back.
but the one thing though, to go back when she asked her about Ronda and all this stuff, Shayna just like looked at her and was like just breathing heavy, like all pissed, and just walked away. She
Yeah.
didn't even answer. She didn't even, because like Shayna, she just not here to talk anymore. She lost at WrestleMania. She probably feels like an idiot because she came in so dominant, lost. So now she's like, I'm not here to talk. I'm here to just literally just break people's arms,
Destroyed.
break people's heads off. Yeah.
Yes, and that's what she did. That's what she did because she ended up like stepping on like Sarah Logan's arm,
Yeah.
and then she ended up like supposedly like it was dislocated. Supposedly that's what they And I had somebody texting me to, one of my members of our family. So I feel bad for Sarah Logan. People, it's not real. She's good. She's
Yeah.
talented. Come on. So the referee pulls back Baszler. The referee pulls Baszler up, and then Logan attempts to get up, but Baszler stomps her elbow and does it.
It's
So
done.
that's what it was. Done.
It's done. And your winner, Sarah Logan.
Yeah.
I mean, record scratch. And then of course you get the King, you get Byron Saxton, Tom Phillips. They're all like, so I think he messed up.
Yep. So
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Shayna Baszler. I promise I'll get the the audio for that the next time. But Shayna leaves like through the PC. She's throwing chairs in the process. So like we know she got the win, but that's only
And it's funny because like they announced the wrong name as she's throwing the chairs and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'd be pissed too. You're like, what? Like you're not even in this match, and it's like, oh, she did win, and it's like, okay, I guess you're still pissed because you lost at Mania. It's like, but why are you throwing chairs?
She suffered from like the Steve Harvey syndrome. They
Yeah,
announced the wrong win.
yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I mean? So try to like fix that, WWE. That did not come out good. So we get a promo by the Monday Night Messiah, said Rollins, saying into the distance in the backstage. He says he lost to Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, and once again his career has been crucified. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of religious people that watches the show start commenting on the stuff that he said later. Well, we'll touch on that, but for now we're gonna focus on Akira Tozawa against Austin Theory. Like they had a match because Akira Tozawa is one of the guys that is going to be fighting for the cruiserweight tournament. There's going to be two brackets, Jean Paul. Whoever wins
Yep.
from all the
And
brackets.
did you see? Did you see my boys in there who I predicted to win?
That's right. He's there. Kushida
Kushida.
is there. Yeah. Yeah. Jean Paul mentioned it. Jean Paul said it, and Jean Paul was right. Yeah. Kushida.
Hoverboard, and then
Well, I will say maybe Kushida. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't feel upset if Jack Gallagher wins it. He has a new look, tattoos. He looks absolutely different from the gentleman Jack Gallagher. So I wouldn't be upset if he wins it. But Kushida will be legit, mainly because I think that like NXT has not done him right yet. I'm still kind of like iffy about the thing with Alex Shelley. The tag team was badass, losing the first round and done, and then he's just been like floundering in the NXT like division because he doesn't even fight for a championship. But Jean Paul, Selena Vega is once again a feature in the show because she's, of course, Austin Theory is one of her clients. So she's doing commentary and everything, and the match with Tozawa, of course, really good. Tozawa is like a really good cruiserweight. Good
yeah.
matches. He knows how to
To
make
me,
people
yeah.
look good.
To me, Tozawa's legit. I always say, like, when I was, running solo here on Monday Night Raw, every time he wrestled, I was like, here it is, my boy Tozawa. He's doing the job again. And, he's always legit. It's usually he has a decent showing, but you always know how it's going to end with him on the mat, 1, 2, 3, and done. And I didn't think he would, but it looks like Austin Theory is going to be promoted to Monday Night Raw full time, which this is like, what are you trying to do? Another Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre thing again? Give a guy 21, 22 years old, put him on Monday Night Raw, and then he's just going to let it go to his head, and then he's going to be bullshit? To me, he should have been in NXT. I mean, he's a hell of a wrestler, but, hey, I'm not saying that he is a cocky person how he acts, but if any of how he acts in his character is him in real life, yeah, I mean, I don't see it, going too far, especially if they put a belt on.
It all will depend on how they carry him,
Yep.
like the type of people that he surrounds himself with. Because
Yeah,
then
to me,
he surrounds himself with legends that like can carry him, give him good advice, keep him
yeah.
like on the ground. Then it would be good.
So,
But if not,
so
we
what?
have a
Like, was his fair?
potential.
What? So his farewell match in NXT, he did the job for Prince Pretty and then done. Like,
That's
that's
the
what I
way
mean.
it
Like,
did.
there
That for
there's still
Tyler Breeze, yeah.
to me there was still storyline with that. So I don't. That's what I mean. I don't know.
Maybe
I was
he shows up
surprised
and
that he was.
like you made a
Yeah.
good point though because he's not even in the tournament. He's not
Yeah.
in the cruiserweight tournament, so like yeah, he's probably a full time member of the Monday Night Raw brand. So Tozawa, like I said, they had a really great match, but the last sequences, the highlights of the match, Tozawa get Austin back in the ring for a missile dropkick and a 2 count, and then Akira applies an octopus stretch, but Theory gets out and he hits the ATL for the win. I like that finisher. It's devastating. It's looking good. Selena is like, it's not a mistake. I know how to choose them. So she's like bragging about that. And then after the match, our boy Angel Garza, el Latino está en la casa, and Andrade come down and attack Tozawa, and then they put him on the top rope, and Andrade hit the hammerlock DDT, dropping it and done. So like good
Is it?
stuff.
Is it? Is it wrong? And I know you feel the same way. To me, it's like, okay, we have Zelina Vega, Austin Theory. Okay, it's like Angel Garza. Oh yeah, and Andrade. That's how I
Yeah,
feel. It's like Angel Garza is like, he's the star. It's like when you had the Nation of Domination. Farouk did all the talking. Farouk was the leader. And then for like after 10 seconds, the camera goes to The Rock, and it's like, yeah, Farouk, okay, yeah, okay, whatever. Like,
it feels that way, but it's
it's
because
like, yeah,
again,
you're the main guy, but you're not the most legit guy.
yeah, no, I agree, and mainly is because I told you, like the fact that Almas is not able to, talk in English well, and I mean Selena does the favor for him, yes, but with him not able to talk, there's no charisma behind it.
Yeah,
So I
and
think
even when Angel Garza wrestles in his matches, he's even talking in English. He's like, "Come on, is that all you got?" And you can hear him understand, like you can understand him clearly.
yeah,
Like now obviously it's going from a different language to English, but Nakamura speaks way better English than Andrade.
yeah, it is. It is. For example, his promo with Braun Strowman on Friday Night SmackDown, it was great. I was
Yeah,
able to understand
yeah,
everything.
yeah. And like I said, I don't know. Okay, now this show was live. But I don't know why. I don't know what's hard about doing the show, delaying it. 30 seconds, 45 seconds, having the guys in the truck, subtitles on the bottom. Why can't
Or
we just get
I will
subtitles, or just have Zelina translate?
or just have have him rehearse what he's about to say. Hey, this is how you say it. This is how you say it. That way it comes out and people okay. Instead of and then and what?
Or he could just like the Kabuki Warriors. You cut 80% of the promo in Spanish, and then you just say the last thing in English. He can just be like Drew, like you're going down, or some kind of
Or
generic like
no
whatever
one's ready for Andrade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or something. But like, just cut the rest of it in Spanish. Like, who cares? At least you'll sound more legit.
Yeah, you will sound more convincing. And
Yeah.
talking about somebody that can be convincing on being Spanish and doing the English part is Rey Mysterio. So Rey Mysterio is backstage, and Charlie Caruso asked him what will mean for Rey Mysterio to win the Money in the Bank. And he says, "Well, remember in 2010 I won the World Heavyweight Championship from Jack Hager. He doesn't say Jake Hager. He says Jack Swagger, but like he beat him and
The Big Hurt, Jake
yeah."
Hager.
Yeah, Jake Hager being in the ankle lock for like a half hour or something. So he says he was the standout year of his career because he wins the WWE Championship once again. Wrong. He won the World Heavyweight Championship. He doesn't even know what titles he wins.
Well, that
Okay.
maybe they can't say that.
Maybe
Because it doesn't exist anymore. They got to be like,
maybe.
you know how it's bullshit.
That's true. So Kane cashed in, and that was true. Like 2 minutes after that, Kane comes in, chokeslam, done. So that point being, nobody knows how much it means for him and how dangerous the briefcase can be. So he has a lot of respect for Buddy Murphy, but who will be a future champion? But this year is Rey Mysterio's times, and he ends up as he's walking away. He goes, "Booyaka." So good stuff from Rey. Like Rey's legit. Like, the one thing about Mysterio is when he's face, you believe that he's a baby face. Every single thing he says is like you kind of like have a lot of sympathy for him.
If I was booking a promotion and I had like a 21-year-old Rey Mysterio, and I had him until he retired, he would not be a heel one time. I would never turn him heel. Yes. He's not believable as a heel. And why would you want him? To me, kids cheer you cheer him from the ages of birth to death.
Yes.
You love Rey Mysterio. There's not a person who goes, "Oh, boo," when he comes out. He's a baby face, so to me he's perfect the way he
baby
speaks.
Face for life. Yes.
Yeah, the way he speaks, the way he carries himself. Somebody like Cena, who was always face, you could say for his like majority of his run, he could play a heel, but Mysterio, nah, he's face.
Yeah, he's face for life. And now we go to somebody that can be a decent, an iffy face. But like I think that as a heel, he does a much better job. And those are like Monday Night Raw Messiah one more time. Seth Rollins, he's backstage and he says everyone needs something to have faith in, and he wants us to know that he is still here for us because his Messiah has truly risen. And don't quote me on it, but like I said, maybe a lot of religious groups are going to be upset by that comment. So maybe.
But you know what? Like this is all I'm gonna say. Like he makes those analogies and those references, and I know like you said people could be like, oh, they take it the wrong way, get upset. But he's a heel, so if he upsets people,
he's doing his job.
He's doing his job.
And I mean, he does look like he kind of looks like Jesus Christ. He tries to portray himself as that. I could give him that. So yeah, you're right. So he does that. So now we go to Angel Garza, or Angel Garza, however you want to call it. He goes, Tahuri Miles from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Tahuri. And we go to they have a match. Garza comes out and he goes to somebody, one girl that was I guess holding cameras or something. He goes and she's like, honey.
But see, I almost thought that was his fiance.
It seemed to me like I thought that was I thought the same thing. I'm like that's his fiance because it looked like.
Yeah, because commentary was like no selling it. They're like, oh, who's that girl? I'm like, that was either his fiance or Charlie Caruso is still thirsty and she came out to check him out again. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was his fiance.
Yeah, I think it might have been her, but like I guess no social distancing, honey. If I get you sick, hey, you're gonna be married to me. So we both get sick. So
Yeah.
he gives him a kiss, and then Garza pretty much dominating Tahuti. They did a missile dropkick from the beginning. That was really nice because
Oh, that
Garza.
was so.
Yeah, Garza is elevating himself, and he hits the kick, and also Tahuti, he was like, ooh, and then boom.
Yeah, but okay, this is one thing. All jokes aside with the hooey, but he sold the shit out of it. And he
Yes,
was
that's what I
good
mean.
at everything he did. Like, all these job guys, like, you just call him, oh, who cares about this job guy? Well, like, if he's selling his ass off and making the guy who's kicking his ass look legit, then he's doing his job, and that's why you need him. That's why they're legit. So you got to give the props to him because Garza looked like a monster.
Yeah, absolutely. And also like I love the fact that like he took off his pants and he goes to the camera. He's like, hey, come on, get up, and he
Yep.
said in Spanish, is like to all females, to every single one that is watching me on TV right now, I love you and I love me. So really cool. And then he hit the wing clipper, and then before he says that is El Latino está en la casa, baby. Wing clipper, 1, 2, 3, done. So we have Garza is for me. He has to be the number one Latino face in WWE. Aside Mysterio, aside Andrade, he
To
needs to be the
me,
one
yeah,
that is going
to
to
me, I
hold
don't know.
Eddie Guerrero.
I don't know how you don't have him in the unless. No, I get. Are they done for the men's? Do they have all the men's Money in the Bank?
No, not yet. They
No,
only have
no,
three.
they just had these
So
three.
they
They
have
just had
one
these
more
three.
matchup.
To me, he should be in it because that would be something if he wins it. Then like Andrade's like, so why do you get the challenge for the heavyweight championship? And he's like, because I'm Angel Garza. Like if he has
Because
the
I'm
belt.
better, essay.
So that's what I mean. It could be you could do something with that. I don't know. I mean, it's scary to say because I don't want Drew to lose the title anytime soon. I want him to hold it for a while. But I mean, that would be something if Angel Garza wins it and he has the title while still in Zelina Vega's group, and that would be a legit stable. Then if they don't,
It
if they're
will.
not at each other's
And there's
throats
been many
for
talks that
jealousy.
like they wanted to do like a Spanish like staple. They wanted to do that for the long, like a newer version that the LWO or the
Yeah,
NWN.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
but see, like
but make it
the,
legit this time.
yeah,
Make it legit.
don't put in a 22-year-old white boy.
Yeah, I mean, well, you kick him out. You do. You got
Yeah,
like a storyline that you
yeah,
kick him
yeah.
out, or you can be like, well, my parents are Hispanic. You create something.
No. This is what to me. If you want to make it legit, you gotta have. It shouldn't have been him in it. It should have been the two of them. They're like, we have a third guy, blah blah blah, this and that, and then Dominic turns heel and sides with them, and then it like
That would
feuds
be
with
nice. See,
Mysterio or
that would be
something.
so nice if Dominic shows up. But hey, I always say Jean Paul is a great booker. Give him a shot, please. So Jean Paul post match attack. Also, Andrade comes back again. He does the same spot. They do another hammerlock DDT on Tahuti, and then we go to see Asuka is backstage, and Sarah Shiver is congratulating her on the Money in the Bank win. But then she's like saying that Kyrie is going to go against Nia Jax, so he's like giving her support and everything. So now Charlie's approaching Drew McIntyre, and
Which
he's
is
asking,
funny because they're like, oh, like how do you like get confidence in this match to go against Nia Jax? And they're like, confidence, and they're like, confidence, and just start laughing. And it's like, yeah, why would Kyrie have confidence? She's against Vince McMahon and his bullshit booking, and she's against Nia Jax, who weighs 5 times as much as she does. Confidence.
oh,
Out the
well, yeah, he's like,
window.
and he's like, I'm confident I'm going to lose. That's what pretty
Yeah,
much, but yeah, I'm
yeah,
confident I'm going
exactly.
to lose. So now, like I said, we go to Drew McIntyre, and Charlie's asking him about a response for like Selena Vega's comments. So McIntyre pours out to the scar on his arm, and he says that was Andrade. He took all that scar at least once a week. He looked at the scar once a week, and that was because of him. He almost took everything from him. Well, they had something strong words tonight, but he promises he's going to beat Andrade. Claymore Andrade, and then if he loses 6 months because of it, so be it. So now, Jean Paul, we go to like I said, it's a third qualifying match for in the women's side, Monday Night Raw. Kairi Sane, Nia Jax, 3 minutes, if so. That was we knew that like Nia Jax is just coming back. There's no way that Kairi Sane, despite how legit she is, there were no way that like they were going to
No,
book to win.
no. And let me just, just take us through the match, and then we can get that over with. And then I just want to give my opinion why this was not the right choice. Even though you knew
Yes.
Nia Jax was going to get pushed, it wasn't the right choice, and I'll give my reasons why. But please take
Okay,
us
so
through.
well, pretty much Jax throws Zayn all over like a rag doll, and then Jax leaves Kyrie in like the military press, and then she drops it on the Samoan drop, which is now her new finisher because she tried the Rampage last week, and I guess nobody liked that, so she's keep doing the Samoan drop, and now it's called the Annihilator. The
Oh, the
Annihilator.
Annihilator.
Annihilator. There you go. There you go. Annihilator. There you go. I even need classes, Andrade. You and me are going to school, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. And then,
Well,
what is it? Say it again. Say it again.
Annihilator.
Annihilator. Yeah. And I
If
don't
you
know
and
why.
Andrade are going to school, you're in 11th grade, about to be a senior, and he's still in kindergarten. So
Yeah,
don't
I mean,
worry.
we
At
gotta
least you're.
go. So like,
Yeah.
when everything in September, he and I are signing up.
But
So,
I
give
mean,
us your reason, Jean Paul.
okay, like again, not trying to be mean, not trying to be offensive, whatever. Sean Paul used to be almost in the same weight class, but what is Nia Jax gonna do on a ladder? Kairi Sane could be doing these, things off a ladder, jumping from the top rope, maybe hitting somebody off the ladder. What's Nia Jax gonna do? Run her body weight into the ladder? The only thing she's gonna do is push it over when you have two women on either side climbing it up.
Yes.
She's not going to be like an AJ Styles or Ricochet who springboards from the ropes onto the ladder halfway up and climbs it and takes the belt or the briefcase. She's not going to do anything crazy. She's not athletic at all. So to put her in this match is useless.
It is.
If
It is.
anything, she should. If you wanted to debut her, I mean, it's a bullshit way, but I hope she's never champion again. So I wouldn't care if she had a match because hopefully she would lose. She should have debuted by punching Becky Lynch in the face again.
Yeah, she should have been the one in the championship match, and then
Yeah.
you have all the other women, fighting in the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, she should have just been like Becky Lynch was cutting a promo, blah, blah, blah. She turns from off camera, punch in the face. Obviously, don't break her freaking noses or like give her a concussion, whatever happened last time. Like, don't be an asshole. Like, actually learn how to work.
Don't break her nose. Yeah, don't
Yeah,
break her nose. Don't do
but
that.
like, kind of relive that a little bit. Do something like that. Because to put her in this match, which is built around athletic people, she's like it's just it's awful. There's no other word besides it was awful. It was an awful choice, but they were gonna push her, so it is what it is. Hope to God we don't. Imagine if Tamina's in one of the matches on SmackDown.
Oh well, no. Well, I don't. I hope not. I mean, she's kind of like she's gonna go against Sasha Banks, on Friday. So we'll see. I don't think she's gonna be quite yet, but we don't know. So let's hope to God that doesn't happen because they're two wasted spots.
Imagine, you put the Samoan steakhouses in the fucking match. That just makes me so angry.
Another person that is about to cancel in the network. There you go, WWE. Good job when it comes to canceling.
No. I won't cancel it.
But also like a reason that a lot of people try to cancel the network, Charlotte Flair. So the Queen is back. She's coming to the ring. She's going to kind of promo. So Charlotte says, tonight is a history lesson with the Queen. Back on the 2020 Royal Rumble, the Queen won the Royal Rumble match, and she had two choices, Becky Lynch or Bayley. But she's been there and done that a bunch of times. But neither of them made any challenges. Instead, you had the next big thing, Rhea Ripley making a challenge. And that was ballsy. Yet, here she stands as the two-time NXT Women's Champion. She beat the next big thing, making her the biggest thing. Last year, Vince knew she was the biggest thing, which is why she chose her to save the main event of WrestleMania, which Jean Paul already said that's not a good call. Should have been Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. And this year, Rhea Ripley chose her because she wants her to beat her. She wants to be her. That's what it is. But Rhea Ripley lacks humility. And there are levels to this. So there's always going to be someone bigger, better, faster. And she's going to remind the women of NXT that there are levels. And the next one up is our girl, Io Shirai. She had a really impressive performance to earn her shot, but lesson one is up next, and everyone, and Charlotte means everyone, bows down to the Queen. So the promo to me legit. The promo, she delivered perfect.
Yeah, Yeah,
Good job, Almas.
Yeah, her promos and stuff like when they're written and stuff, usually they're not bad. It's just sometimes her delivery. She just sometimes doesn't seem like she has the emotion out there when she's actually saying it. She's kind of like, oh, that was ballsy, Rhea. It's
Like she kind of exaggerates way too much.
Yeah, like, are you okay? Like, how about you just why don't you just pretend you're actually, speaking to somebody face to face and you're getting pissed off or whatever? But I mean, just what she actually said though, it was legit, and I mean, I'm excited for the match. I hope that she gives it right back to somebody who's actually on NXT though. And I hope she did, and I hope her title reign doesn't continue. Essentially, because it makes you curious because they say, "Oh yeah," I mean, now this is legit. This obviously isn't fake, but it's like, yeah, Rhea Ripley's her work visa was done, this and that. But it's like, what if her work visa was good? Would Rhea have been the champ and Charlotte lost?
Oh yeah, there's always that. You could have done. I mean,
that could
be the main reason why they change it. I will say that. Yes, absolutely. So we'll see. Hopefully, Io wins it. I'm rooting for Io. She's awesome. She needs to have that championship. She's been fighting for over like a year and a half or so. Let her have it. There's no reason that Charlotte should be holding to that. She's been already a 2-time. She's not doing anything with the title. Io will do so much better. Imagine the matchups that she could have. Tegan, Dakota, Candice. She can have even who else? She could have also even like a returning Rhea Ripley. They have it all there. Kaden Carter, Chelsea Green, all of them. There's so many options that you could go.
Oh yeah, Shotzi Blackheart, Mercedes. You got to get Mercedes Martinez in this mix. You brought her in. She had a lot of steam. Get her going with something.
That's right.
There's so many women that you can use.
So now, Mr. Egg, we're gonna go for this really quick because it doesn't give us any interest in them. Only one of the few 400,000 people in the United States that beat coronavirus, the almighty Bobby Lashley, going against Lana. No, not against Lana, with Lana.
Soon, hopefully.
Soon, yes. I'm getting all ahead of myself. Going against the guy that I always tell him no way, because there's no way, Jose. And I will say, we put it in the pages. He flew on a plane by himself, and also he was on the train by himself. There was nobody and just to come to the performance center to perform. So I give him props for that. The level of effort, the level of compromise, the level of commitment that they have, these guys to go there, put their lives at risk
to
get your ass kicked.
Yeah,
to get your ass
exactly what that.
To get to get kicked in the ass.
If EC3 could fly to Saudi Arabia for 3 seconds in a battle royal, and anything's possible.
Well, they told him am I gonna win? He said, no way, Jose. They're never gonna win, and that's what happened. So there was a little bit of exchanges right there, and see, Lana was kept giving orders to Lashley, so Lashley gets upset, and he said, would you shut the hell up? So Lana gets all mad, so you can see the tension that is building up. You see both of them are about to split. Not quite yet. And then spear, 1, 2, 3, and done. And then Bobby wins, and you can see the King is oh, ungrateful. Lashley is not ungrateful. You see that the storyline is about to end.
Do you think we're gonna see a returning Rusev?
If he resigned, yes, because his contract is up. I think they were in negotiation and everything. If he comes back, then if not, we might see Rusev on AEW. We don't know. I kind of not see him going to AEW just because Lana is the wife, and you probably want to be with the wife. Not everybody can be
and I told you, I think a lot of people are realizing AEW is legit. It's another option, but that's not saying you go to AEW and you're going to be used. You're going to be pushed because they already have way too many wrestlers there.
If you don't believe us, as Sean Spears, right?
Yep. Exactly.
That's the perfect 10 that for 10 seconds he was legit, and then the only man that taps out to the figure 4, and I said tap out, not
pinfall.
The only man that got a pinfall on the figure 4 and actually didn't tap out.
But see, that's how you got to say it, Charlotte. If you're gonna be saying bullshit like one was, you have to say it at least confident.
There you go. Thank you, Jean Paul. And we're going to go to the Viking Raiders against Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. This, to me, didn't make any sense because you're building both teams.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense, and they're both baby faces, but it was a hell of a match. If you look at it, you think you think the Viking Raiders will kill these guys in 30 seconds? And no
Nope.
way, man. They like you said, they booked these guys legit. It was a shame because, like you said, they're both baby faces. They're both, it's like, hey, I was thinking, why, like, not that I know we've seen it 1,000 times, but it's like, where's the OC? They're a heel team, do something with that. But I'm like, you know what? They're selling the fact that the OC's still dead from when the Undertaker killed them all. So, hey, at least you're sticking with that. So
It is, and then the one thing, like you said, like Ricochet and Cedric Alexander look a legit team. They look like a legit team. So like it kind of hurt me because you pretty much dropped them out to the Viking Raiders. Although they put out on a great match, they put on
yeah.
a great fight. They did everything they could, but we knew that like who's the
But now, see,
most known
like
team.
now, this is probably going to end up being the Viking Raiders versus the Street Profits for the title. So, like, okay, if that's what you're going to do, whatever. Why couldn't you have called this match a #1 contenders match? Gave it like 5 more minutes, made it even more legit, cut out some bullshit from earlier in the show or from what's to come, and have it be, like I said, have it be a #1 contenders match, and make it feel great. Instead, they put on this match, and it's like, you kind of don't care because it's like, was it really for anything, And also, I don't know, I would have maybe saved this for next week. Did something like that. They were like, oh, the Viking Raiders next. Like, we got a lot of matches tonight.
It was
Yeah.
a long show, yo. It was a long show. Yes, it was. But I mean, we're not gonna complain because, like I said, overall it felt not bad.
Oh
A lot
no.
of
Yeah.
storylines that we said, but it didn't feel bad. So Ivar and Alexander get tagged, and the big man floors Cedric with a splash, and Eric tags in, and he throws Ivar into Cedric into the corner for a near fall. Then Cedric kicks Eric, punches Ivar, then he gets a springboard, but gets caught by Eric and Ivar, and they hit the springboard lariat German suplex combo. Legit. Awesome. Then Ricochet springboards in, but it gets dropped. And then the Viking Raiders screwed up and they're finished, but they get the win. They did kind of like the Viking experience didn't turn out to be legit. But hey, it's live TV. Sometimes it doesn't come out the way, I screwed up. My pronunciation, I still got to sign up for my English classes once again. So, that's what happens. But like Jean Paul was saying, the match that we're going to get Money in the Bank is probably going to be Street Profits going against the Viking Raiders. Why? Because Charlie Caruso is interviewing the Street Profits, and they bring Bianca Belair finally. He's like, my wife is right here. The new sensation. Yeah, she is right here. So Bianca is like talking to them, and the Street Profits are kind of like a promo about like the Viking Raiders. Like, we have all the respect in the world. For
Yeah,
the Viking
and then
Raiders.
Andrew talking, and he's like, yeah, the Vikings are legit. They gave us these words. I think it was like happy and something else. Like I guess we took those words and used them in the English language. And he's like, they're very hygienic people, all this stuff. And it's like, okay, like it's kind of funny, kind of like, okay, I don't really care. But I love what Bianca said when she came in, and she's like, what are you guys talking all this shit for? She's like, who cares? She's like, you guys lose every time you face them.
Yes, it's like
She's like, yeah.
uh.
Which that's like, I mean, Montez Ford, Andrew Dawkins, to me they're legit, but like if you have Bianca Belair, which she can't just be tagging around with him. It's fine that she is, but she's also got to do her own stuff. Why isn't she in Money in the Bank?
Well, we have two options right now that you're mentioning. Either Liv or Bianca.
That's what I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Like, come on, you got to do something with her. Don't just have her be tagging around. But at least I like how she's, kind of firing them up because she's the strongest, the fastest, all that stuff. That's why she's the IST, the EST, of now Monday Night Raw, not of NXT anymore. So I like how she lights the fire under their ass. And speaking of lighting the fire, she's like, you guys, you're supposed to want the smoke. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, it's like if you want to keep these titles, you're gonna have to go and smoke them. Like you said, you gotta get it together and win. And like take this thing seriously. That's what he said. You gotta take this serious. So good stuff. Like, yeah, Bianca. The addition of her, if it's not on a wrestling role, I don't think it's needed. They need to do something with her. If not, go take her back to NXT.
Yeah.
Because in NXT she has a lot of things yet that she could do. She could be the champion for like. She could be carrying that division. No problem.
Well, yeah, no, I definitely don't see her going back. I don't. They said she's on. She made her Monday Night Raw debut, so she is called up to the main roster now. But like I said, you got to get her in matches, get her wrestling, and I think they should have had her kind of go against Nia Jax to be like who's the most dominant woman, and I would have Bianca go over.
Oh yeah, that's what I would do.
Drew Nia, because I don't care if she's Samoan. I don't care if she's related to The Rock. I don't care if she's Vince McMahon's, flesh and blood. I really don't care what the hell she is. To me, she hasn't done anything. She's not good. Why should she get pushed to the moon? Bianca's a better wrestler. She's more believable. Have her be the monster.
Athlete.
Yeah, everything.
Yes.
So have her go over. Then she can be crowned the most dominant woman, on Monday Night Raw, maybe next to Shayna Baszler, but, whatever. Or obviously the champ, Becky Lynch. But Nia Jax, like I said, she's getting pushed way too much. And then it hurts me to just see Bianca just kind of floating around as like a valet for the tag team champs.
Exactly. So it kind of sucks in that matter, but we'll see what they do with her in the weeks to follow. Main event time, McIntyre and Andrade. Finally, because the whole show we've been talking about this freaking match.
Yeah, and then and you look and it's like, 10:52, 53? Oh,
53 it was, yeah. So it was
it's
like really fast.
We can see how much of a legit match this is going to be.
Exactly. So at least in the end, McIntyre gets the win. Claymore kick, 1, 2, 3 on Sin Almas. Neither one of course Garza was right there, and also Austin Theory and Selena. Neither one of them did any interference or anything of that nature. Because even like you said, it's okay. It's 10:55, 56. It's like, okay, this is still 4 minutes there, so something is about to happen. And yes, it happened because Messiah has risen, and the Messiah came out. And the Messiah said Rollins attack McIntyre. He hits a super kick on McIntyre, which leaves him all the way like groggy. And then he takes advantage of that and he hits 2 curb stomps. And clearly he's pointing himself. He's naming himself the #1 contender for the WWE Championship. And we go off the air with McIntyre on the mat, just laying down, and the Messiah kind of standing up tall.
Now, okay, like you see him come out and he attacks him, and you're like, okay. Part of you, and I'm not saying you personally, talking you as in like fans watching. Part of you is like, oh, okay, cool, it's legit. Seth Rollins, he's way more legit as a heel in this Monday Night Messiah role to go against Drew, but he just lost his WrestleMania match
with Kevin Owens.
And I think when WWE looked, they're like, okay, who do we have as a monster heel to feud against? And now I'm not saying they take logic into consideration here, but I'm hoping they do. They look and they're like, all right, who's the next monster heel to go against Drew? Brock? He just beat Brock, so no. It's like, okay, well, AJ lost his WrestleMania match. Randy Orton lost his WrestleMania match.
Well, if you think about it,
Seth Rollins lost his all the heels lost their WrestleMania match. None of them won. Bobby Lashley, none of them won to be considered, hey, I won at Mania. I'm the #1 contender. All faces won. And you can do a face versus face match, but it's usually not as exciting. There's usually not story or emotion into it because it's like, oh, let the best man win. Who gets excited for that crap? Nobody. You want to see a heel like this with Seth Rollins beat down the champ and then, boo, we hate you. Why are you an asshole? You don't deserve the title shot. Blah, blah, blah. But like I said, if that's the role they're going to do, I guess because all the heels kind of look like losers, so you got to pick somebody. At least Seth Rollins got the advantage over Kevin Owens 9 times out of 10. It was just that one time Kevin Owens beat him. It just so happened to be at WrestleMania. But, I mean, I don't know. As long as Drew doesn't lose,
it's fine.
It should be a legit match. We're not going to say, oh, Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. That's a snore fest. That'll be a bullshit 1-star match. No. They'll have great matches. But as long as Drew's still the champ, then I'm good.
Yeah. And, well, we haven't seen Kevin Owens. So we got to see Kevin Owens coming back. We'll see what happens with him. We'll see if he gets any kind of role in this feud. Maybe that I'm a fan of a triple threat. Maybe. I'm just saying maybe. Or maybe they hold him back for the next, let's say the next month. And then they start really pushing him one more time because, hey, I won my match with Rollins. So, hey, now it's my time to challenge for a championship.
Yeah, man, and he could even be in a Money in the Bank qualifier. Dude, he could be in that. Yeah, I mean, we don't know. Like we said, Angel Garza could be in it. Who knows? They could even do the same thing like they did Ruby Riott and Asuka. They could put Angel Garza and Kevin Owens in a match, and then we're like, oh, great, we want both these guys to be in.
Exactly. So we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do. So in the end, good show for Monday Night Raw, and it kind of sounds bad that I'm saying a good show, but it was good. It was a good show. Yeah. We got a lot of new build up for like new rivalries, new storylines, and Money in the Bank build up. So that's a unique start.
That's the one thing I appreciate it. Even though like with Nia Jax, the confusion with what they're doing with Ruby Riot, even though it might not be how I would want it personally, at least we're getting a lot of build towards Money in the Bank, and that's all we ask. That's
Yes.
all we ask here on Rope Break and in the entire wrestling community. All we ask WWE is that you please build towards your pay-per-views and make them seem special.
And that's what you did.
Not
So hey,
not just
to do something
WrestleMania,
right,
not just SummerSlam, not just Survivor Series, which you barely build towards Survivor Series anyway, but not just the big ones. Build towards all of them, and that's what they're doing. So again,
hey, well, they get some kudos and they get some props. So this pretty much sums up the show for tonight, guys. Thank you so very much for watching it. Thank you for everybody that has been supporting us. All the support that you guys give us is just more commitment to us to deliver every single time. We gotta be like the mailman. We always deliver, and that's what we're gonna keep doing. So thank you so very much once again. Don't forget,
I would say we're more like Amazon Prime because the mailman doesn't deliver Sundays or
that's true.
holidays. Amazon Prime, they deliver Sunday and holidays, and that's not a plug for them. But I'm
There you
just
go.
saying we are like them because we
That's
deliver
true.
any day, no matter what.
And all the time with like great content and everything. So don't forget to catch us out like on the social media world, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We always have the news, every single thing. Today we even reported XFL filed for bankruptcy. That was really bad.
Done.
Done. 2K21 cancel as
Done.
of rumors, not confirmed, but rumors that most likely will be canceled. And on Monday Night Raw, of course, the information and the review is right here for you guys. So, Jean Paul Egg, one more thing we have left to say. So I think it's time to charge it. Charge it. And thank you so very much, guys. We'll see you pretty soon. And we say bye by saying,
Bye.